Hey, you. Yeah, you. You have to subscribe to Don Sill's show, Put Up, Shut Up, and Stand Up on GOVS Radio. It's the show with his buddy Benny. They're good buddies. They're on TV. I don't know what I'm saying.
If you want to stop being poor, quit buying lattes and invest your money instead.
You know what? Fine.
Oh, no. No! How could you?
Now I can buy
No.
all the lattes I want! No! No! No!
Hey everybody, and welcome to Put Up, Shut Up, and Stand Up right here on GovsRadio.com, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and Boxcast. And like my good friend Ken Pichello always says, we're on TV. And yes, indeed, we are, folks. I'm your host, Don Sill. We got another great show in store for you today. We got Carla Okerson, Governors at Radio's own Carla Okerson superstar. She's on the show. It's going to be a lot of fun. Also, right from That Metal Show and That Jameson Show, Don Jameson is here joining us. It's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of cool stuff. So definitely don't want to miss any of that. But without further ado, let me bring in my good buddy, Benny Gagooch Rizzuti. Benny, how you doing, pal?
Hey, Don, I'm doing great, man. I'm in my own winter wonderland over here.
Yeah, look at you. You're really embracing the blizzard that we had, huh?
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. And it was great. It was really good. And see, I've got a different hat. This is another, this hat is known as a cupola. I don't know if you knew that.
Is it a
like
Francis Ford Coppola?
Yeah, Francis Coppola. Oh, you got one too. Yeah, this type of hat is known as a cupola or an old man's hat.
Yeah.
And this cupola, what's really cool about this in my winter wonderland, I've got ear flaps.
Dude, I don't have those on this. I don't have those.
My grandfather would have beat my butt to own this hat.
This is called a cupola. I always wonder what you call these kind of hats. I always have to describe them whenever I want to get it. It does add about 5 or 6 years to me when I put it on, but I do love it, especially in the wintertime. So I just happen to have. I was just wearing it today, so just right there.
I've worn them all my life, but this is like the best.
Yeah,
this is a one of a kind.
In honor of you, Benny, I'm going to keep my hat on for the rest of the show.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
I got a hat on right now too.
I got.
yeah.
Yeah, I see what you did there. Very good. But this was the first blizzard we've had. This is the worst storm they said we had like 5 years.
In 5 years, yes.
Yeah, so it's coming down, and it that was yesterday, was Monday. Today we taped this on Tuesday. Tomorrow is Wednesday. But for now, and it started to melt away a lot. It was a little bit warmer out there. Some of the snow is gone, in the streets at least, so you could drive. Because Monday, forget it. Yeah,
the streets are better. It's going to be icy though for a while, and you will see the snow You'll see the snow through the spring, because they start bringing it all to the parking lots at the malls. So when you go shopping, you ever notice that it's like
big piles.
It's March and there's still a big mound of snow?
Yeah. It's got to go somewhere.
Yeah, they can't just plow it out of the way. After a while, they got to remove snow removal.
Yeah, exactly, man. It's a lot of snow that turns into water that could become flooding and all that kind of stuff. So,
and ice,
But Long Island is resilient with the snow. I tell you, I lived in the South for a little while, and in North Carolina and Atlanta, it was both the same, man. If it snowed, if we ever had a snow like this, forget it. The whole city would be shut down for like weeks. But like even just flurries will shut you down. So, and they can't drive in it, like, because no one's used to it. Number one, there's no salt trucks, that they're not equipped. They don't have enough, plows. So it's just
Yeah,
crazy.
they're not ready for it. They don't have the sand and salt that we have. But it took years, because I remember a long time ago when you didn't see a big blizzard like this all the time. So when you just saw a couple of inches of snow, it was like everybody forgot how to drive.
Yeah,
No one,
exactly, man.
all of a sudden they knew they're hitting their brakes, they're skidding around. No one remembered how to drive. And then after, that's like the beginning of the winter, early winter. And then by the end of the winter, we used to grab on the back of cars.
Skitching, man. Yeah, you skitching,
Yeah,
you just fly
skitching.
around. Those were good times, dude.
I had, instead of a sled, I had this thing which was like a big ski that you surfed the snow with it.
Oh, sweet.
It's called like a ski-doo, I believe it was called, and it was a big yellow, and it was like take like a skateboard, right?
Yeah.
Take a skateboard, but the front is bent up the way a ski is, and you'd go on it, and it had a string. But then if you were really cool, you did away with that string, and you just surfed the snow on that.
Ah, very cool,
I
man.
used to yeah. I wouldn't do that now.
I would love to see you surfing on the snow. That would be that would make my whole year.
Oh,
that would
that
make
would-
2021 so much better.
I will do that for you.
Yeah.
You want to go? I'll do that. We'll go. There are areas you could go where by the parkway and stuff.
Yeah, let's do
And
it,
I
man.
will do that if I can find something, because some people will say, "Oh, just get a board." No, it's got to have that curved front.
Yeah,
If it
yeah.
has that curved front, I will hang 10 on that bitch for you,
Hell
man.
yeah, man.
Yeah,
Awesome, dude. So I also want to talk to you, Benny, about that they're now, as we get into this kind of flu and cold season, COVID numbers are kind of they're going up, they're going down. We don't really know, but they're now telling us not only is there a mask mandate, but they're also encouraging us to double mask or even triple mask. And to weigh in on this, we have Professor Fedora to kind of walk us through the proper procedures to the masks. So here it is. Check it out.
All right.
Well, hello, Dr. Fedora back again. But you're probably wondering the proper way to wear the 3-mask rule, which I'm going to show you today in 3 easy steps, which is the classic. Number 1, go ahead, cover your nose, your bottom of your mouth. Well, here comes the 2nd mask, which is the proper way to make sure you get that proper fat underneath your neck covered, and you don't get any germs from all the people that want to make out with you. Put it under your neck like that, and then you cover the bottom half of your chin like that. What's the 3rd mask? Very important. What's the best way to make sure you get no corona or anything, even knowledge, into your mind? You go ahead and put it on like this. Woo! And then you're ready to go ahead and go on with your day for a walk. Woo!
And I'll say this also, man, whatever kind of hard rock or metal or rock or even any music, if there's fans of other music here, just embrace it, right? You got to embrace whatever you like. If you like hair metal, if you like doom metal, if you like stoner metal, thrash metal, black metal, death metal, Norwegian, church burning, symphonic, gender fluid, country and western metal. Just love it. I'll say this right here, and I don't care who knows it. I love the band Winger. That's right. I love the band Winger. You know why? Because they had a hit song called She's Only 17. When you can have a #1 song about being a pedophile, that's a crazy fucking band right there. Kip Winger is the original R. Kelly, that's all I'm saying. I call him R. Winger when I see him.
My next guest rocks. He was the host of that metal show on VH1, which was a standard for metalheads all across the globe. And he currently hosts that Jameson show on Compound Media. It also has a new comedy album that came out last year called Denim and Laughter on Metal Blade Records. And it's available now on YouTube and everywhere you can find music and comedy and all that good stuff. He's also appearing at Uncle Vinny's Comedy Club this weekend, February 4th through 6th. So here he is, folks, the headbanging, hilarious Don Jameson. Don, how you doing, man?
Hey, it's the Don and Don show today, man.
Yeah, man. I always tell people us Dons have to stick together, man.
Oh, absolutely. Now more than ever, my friend.
Yes, indeed, man. Yes, indeed. Now, so are you in New York or New Jersey? Where are you now? Like,
Yeah, I'm snowed in here in Jersey, and so writing a lot of dick jokes today and shoveling my driveway.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, we got hit with this blizzard or nor'easter or whatever they're calling it, and we're all kind of stuck indoors. It's nothing new this year for us, right?
Yeah, but we can do this, so that's cool.
Yeah, exactly, man. Thank God.
It's a zooming world, Don.
Yeah, man. I used to tell people, like, in the beginning of this whole thing, imagine if this happened in like the 80s or the 90s, and we're all quarantined and we didn't have this kind of access like we have now, man.
Yeah, well, guess what, Don? We would have figured it out. We always did, right?
True indeed, man.
I left my house at 7 a.m, walked to the bus stop, and my parents didn't see me till 5 o'clock when dinner was on the table. But you know what? I always showed up. So we would have figured a way. It's the whole social media landscape and all that stuff. For all the good that it does, where you could, especially for comics, we could promote our gigs and all that stuff. It's a fucking disaster, man. I mean, you go on Twitter and it's just like a hate fest, and it's just like, oh man, what have we turned into? I think those days where I hate to sound like the old guy, get off my lawn, but the old days were simpler, right?
Way simpler, man. Like you said, like social media is really like just becoming a cluster. Like, sometimes you wonder when you post something on YouTube or whatever, or Facebook or Twitter, what kind of reaction you're gonna get. You don't know, man. Who's it's gonna be a friendly fire or or a hate fest, man. It's crazy. But it is cool talking to you because I was a big fan of that metal show. I used to write for Circus Magazine, so I was kind of in the metal world a little bit. I don't know if you were a reader of Circus, but it was like Teen Beat for metalheads, basically. But it was good times, man.
Peter Frampton, the Bee Gees, Kiss, Linda Ronstadt. You'll find them all in one exciting weekly magazine, Circus. Every week, Circus Magazine reveals the truth about the incredible rock and roll scene. I'm Jerry Rothberg, editor of Circus Magazine, and I want you to read the toughest, timeliest, gutsiest magazine around.
I miss magazines. That was our social media, Don, right? With Circus Magazine, Kerrang, Rip, all those great magazines. That we don't have anymore because, now you could just pick up your phone and see something in 2 seconds. But yeah, that was literally our social media, that and going out and buying albums. Yeah,
it's crazy that some of these things are being lost upon the generations, that coming after us, man. Like, like there was nothing better than getting that magazine, like it was Hit Parade or a Circus or whatever, and hanging up those pictures out of the magazine on your wall. Like they don't have that anymore. These kids, I don't even know what they're putting on their walls now. It's crazy.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right, man. It's like, and then you'd open up Circus Magazine and you go, oh, Motley Crue has a new album coming out in September, but it was only April, and you had to wait. I can't wait anymore, and nothing leaked out, so you never heard a song in advance. You never saw the artwork, nothing, and you waited and you saved your lawn mowing money, and then you ran to the record store. Which again, that was also social media in the sense of, that's a social activity where, you're looking through the record bins and somebody's a few over and you go, oh, what are you looking for? I'm looking for the new Motorhead. Oh yeah, I'm looking for Motley over here. Oh, Motley's got a new record out. Yeah. And then now you're friends. Hey, I'll come back next week after I cut some more lawns. Meet me here on Saturday and, let's pick up some new albums. So yeah, those are the days, man. Yeah, man, it was good. I remember like even being younger and discovering new music because my neighbor who was like a teenager and I was like, maybe 12, 13 and this guy was like 18, but he was like, I would go over to him and one day he came over, gave me all his Kiss albums. And I was like, wow, thanks, man. He's like, yeah. He's like,
I'm now listening to this other band called Led Zeppelin. And I'm like, oh, can I listen to that? And I remember being a kid listening to Zeppelin for the first time. And I'm a kid. And I'm just like, I'll go listen to the Kiss records. But, yeah, man, those kind of times, now it's different. I guess it's the same, but different,
Yeah, I mean, back then friends would make each other, mixtapes, and that's how I, cassettes. That's how I found out not only rock and roll, Don, but also with comedy. Because my buddy in high school, this guy Steve Stevenson, he used to record George Carlin albums on cassette and give them to me because his parents were way cooler than mine. They let him listen to that stuff.
Yeah.
And I used to have to listen to the cassette in the Radio Shack tape recorder with the one earbud, like late at night after my parents went to bed. But now,
awesome,
you can make somebody an Apple Music playlist or a Spotify playlist. So we still kind of have that, but it was definitely especially when it was like listening to Carlin or Cheech and Chong, it was way more subversive to have to like meet my friend in the hallway at school and get the cassette and take it home and hide it from mom and dad.
Hey, white girl! Hey, mama, come on over. I'll clear up a place for you to sit down, baby. Yeah, right there.
Yeah, man. I remember the Cheech and Chong, man. That because it was the same way. Obviously, I'm born 71, so I think we're close in age. But yeah, coming up, I remember Cheech and Chong, man, had it when I first got cable at HBO or Showtime, whichever, and Up in Smoke. Yeah, I had to watch that thing in secret, but the whole time, my brother's guarding the door. We're watching it.
That a joint, man? That goddamn looks like a quarter pounder, man. Led Zeppelin.
That was the days, man. Now on the phone, these kids could see the most hardcore stuff that they're seeing hardcore stuff that I still haven't seen yet. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, it's like Florentine. Florentine says in his act, now kids are one mouse click away from seeing a chick blow a horse.
Yeah, it's nuts, man. The freaking time is crazy, man. But what's cool is that we did come up with all this great music, and that's what I love about what you're still doing now with the Don Jameson show and what you did with that metal show is you kind of reintroducing a lot of these metal bands to newer, younger people that might not have known all this stuff.
You just passed the audition, George. You got the job. I made it.
Take me a little through those experiences. You've met have you met all of your heroes, or is there anyone on your wish list that you haven't interviewed yet? Because
man, yeah, it's tough. I mean, the only person, I think I've met everybody that really has meant a lot to me over the years. But yeah, the people we didn't get to on that metal show, unfortunately, it was Eddie Van Halen, even though I met Eddie another time, Ozzy, and Gene and Paul from Kiss. And, I'm like you, Kiss was my first band, Kiss was my gateway drug.
Yeah, same here. Yeah. That's a great way to put it.
But to me, it was like, hey, we had Ace and Peter on the show from Kiss, and Bruce Kulick was on. And unfortunately, I never got to meet or know Eric Carr, but, I always remember Eddie telling me, man, I hate that Eric died so young, but I also hate that he never met you guys because he would love you guys so much because he was such a great ball buster like you guys are and all that. So, but yeah, I didn't take it personally. It's like, not everybody they weren't obligated to watch or be on that metal show. We had a little fun back and forth with Gene and Paul over the years. We took a few shots at them. They took a few shots back at us, all in good fun.
Honestly, that's I guess an acquired taste for some, and to me, it's Wayne's World.
Listen, man, I'm a humble guy, man. I like to go out, I like to perform. I love the same music I've loved since I was a kid, And man, I'm grateful that anybody paid attention to us, and that a lot of these guys have become friends, man. And now that I'm doing my own thing, I can shoot people a text or an email and say, hey, I'm doing my own thing over at Compound Media. It's that Jameson show. It's my little way of keeping the spirit of that metal show alive. And why don't you come on and talk to me for 20 minutes and we can do it just like this.
Yeah, man. I know, you know, do you think metal will ever get back to its heyday level, the status it was either in the 80s during that era or even in the early 2000s with that whole new metal scene? Do you think, well, like when it still was like, you know, bands like Disturbed and Godsmack were all over the radio. Yeah. Now it's hard to find rock on any mainstream media. It's kind of weird, man.
Yeah, but you know what, man? 2020 was going to be a big year for rock because you had big reunions. Motley Crue doing that stadium tour, right?
Yeah.
The Motley Crue said, we're never touring again. We're signing this contract. We can never break it legally. And I said to Mick Mars on that metal show, right to him, I said, don't worry. I know you guys will be back. I know you're not trying to pull the wool over your fans' eyes. But what happens is the same thing happens to every band. They break up, and a year later, they're like, I'm just sitting around. Why don't we go back? Why are we wasting time? Let's go back out and do it again. And sure enough, they did. So, but that was what was going to be the start of the big year. So Motley going out on a big stadium tour that was sold out in advance. You had My Chemical Romance reuniting. You had the Black Crowes reuniting. Yeah. Rage Against the Machine reuniting. And then there's a whole slew of newer bands that, you know, like Greta Van Fleet and Rival Sons and Crowbot and the Cruel Knives. There's all these, and the Pretty Reckless, all these young bands that are coming up, you know, that were all going to be putting out albums and touring in 2020. And yeah, and we all know what happened.
Yeah, it's freaking nuts, man. I would like to see it get back on its feet again, because I don't know if, you know, you ever listen to anything on mainstream radio. I got daughters, so sometimes I get forced to listen to some of this stuff, and man, it's tough. It's not easy. There's not even guilty pleasures. It's just like, oh my God, like I had to take a road trip, you know, to North Carolina from New York, and it was 10 hours of listening to that stuff, man, and it takes its toll on you.
It does. You know what, man? But it's crazy, man. But because the music we like, dude, has so many ebbs and flows, and sometimes it rocks all the way up here, and then sometimes way down here, and you think, we'll never get it back again, and then it does, and like, so that's just the nature of the music that we like. It's, you know, you always say like, why aren't these bands bigger or whatever? But then, you know, being like we are, like, we like our stuff to be more underground.
Right.
Like,
yeah, that's the other side.
So
yeah.
How many Metallica fans got pissed off when they put out the Black Album because they sold out? Everyone likes Metallica now.
We do what we want to do, you know. If they consider that selling out, then whatever.
There's a lot of people think you sold out just because you're on a major label and are very popular.
Or maybe you don't play 1,000 miles an hour the whole time, or, you know.
I mean, we'd be doing the same thing if we were still on, you know, independent labels.
Music now, dude, you know, especially for younger people, and it's not their fault, it's disposable. All right, this is a good song. I'll listen to this the whole summer. You know, I'll listen to this Cardi B song for 3 months, and then you'll never hear it again. And nobody really cares, because then another song will come on that people will like. And
that pull-out game weak.
You know, I still collect vinyl, man. I do what I do.
That's what I try to do too. I don't like. I still collect vinyl, but I don't want the reissued vinyl that they sell. You know, the new one. I like to find the old stuff, so I go to thrift stores or whatever. I like to find them too. I don't like to just order them on eBay. I wanted, like, holy, I can't believe somebody threw out look at this. I got this Judas Priest records, man. You know, that's like, then it feels like treasure. It's like, it's only $1 each, man.
Same. I never order. Unless it's unless I want to pre-order something because it's a special edition. I'm the same way. I dig through the racks. You know, I can. Oh my God! Look at this First Angel album for $2 in perfect condition. They don't know what they have here. You know?
Exactly, dude. It's like gold. Now, I also wanted to talk to you too, because throughout the years with stand-up comedy, there's been a couple of rock star level comedians, whether it's Dice or Sam Kinison. Put Jim Brewer in there. What other comedians would you say are rock star comics? And would you ever want to put together like a rock, or has there been one already? I don't know about a rock star kind of comedian, like Kings of Comedy, but rockers of comedy or something like that.
Yeah, man, I've been, that was something I was working on for 2020 because, like I said, I knew there was going to be this surge of rock bands going out on the road, and I wanted to I started to put together what I called the Monsters of Comedy.
Awesome.
It was going to be me and Hal Sparks and this guy Richard Hunter, and then if it kind of took off, then I wanted to rotate people in like Brian Posehn, Brewer, Jim Norton, Jim Florentine, Craig Gass, Dean Del Rey. So there's a nice group of us rocker comics who all wear it on our sleeve out there now. But you're right, man. It was funny back in the day. It was so cool for guys like Dice and Kinison and Bobcat to go out and they would open for rock bands and stuff. And that was so cool. And then it was so not cool for like 25 years.
Thank you. Right away before I get started, I'd like to tell you that this isn't my smoke. This is White Snake smoke.
And now audiences are open to it again because I go out and open for bands all the time and crowds are into it,
Remember those videos in the 80s? I want to rock. We're not going to take it that we're wearing women's lingerie and makeup. I was like, either these are the ugliest chicks from New York or the hottest chicks from Odessa.
Yeah, I think now a lot of the audiences, especially metal audiences, when they love stand-up comedy and they want they want the edge, and that's another thing. We have to keep comedy edgy, man. We can't. That's one thing we can't let these whatever they are, these cancel culture SJWs, whatever you want to call them. We can't let them win this one, man. We have to fight this one.
You know what's crazy though, Don? In this like insanely hypersensitive world we're in right now, and then with the lockdown and everyone's scared of catching COVID and all this stuff, it defies logic, but somehow comedy has actually gotten better. The audiences, and I'm still trying to. It's like if I went out now and I drove my Ford Fusion 90 miles an hour down my block and I slammed on the brakes and I didn't go sliding for another mile. That's like, it defies description. Like these crowds should be miserable. They should be angry at everything you say. Every little buzzword should piss them off. They shouldn't even be coming into the clubs because everyone's scared. Oh, what if a piece of spittle flies 30 feet across the room and lands in my mouth? And
I went to see an AC/DC tribute band a few weeks ago. They were called ADHD. They played the first third of every song.
But I gotta say, man, the crowds the last 5 months that I've been going back on stage, they're just like, you know what? Just hit us with everything you got, because we've been inside for the last 6 months and we just want to laugh and we don't care. And so it's a weird phenomena. I'm sure that window's gonna close, Don. But in the meantime, comics, if you can and you're able to go out and work, hit them with your best shot, man. The crowds have been awesome.
I'm doing my own concert. It's going to be called The Big Four of Trash. Fall Out Boy, Maroon 5, Limp Bizkit, and Nickelback. And then we let Ted Nugent go bow hunting during the concerts.
Yeah, because people want to laugh now more than ever, and the fans of comedy are coming out. Like, I wish we were open here in Long Island. I would love to have you come to Governors and perform over here. But at least places in New Jersey are still open. Connecticut, I think, still have some clubs open. So there's still places to perform. Audiences are still coming out, and that's huge, man. And that just says it all. That the supply and the demand. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I miss Governors, man. I played there so many times with Dice and James and everybody over there. Always so cool to me. So when everything opens back up, I'd love to. And I know Governors is a place where they do things right. That's the cool thing too, is like all the clubs that I've been able to work. Obviously we're not working as much as we like to, But the clubs are doing a great job with the social distancing and everything, to where the audience feels at ease, but it's not too awkward for the comics. Like, it's too spread out. Like, it's still okay, man. You know. But for me, it's like, I don't care. I'm not worried about catching this thing. I don't want it. But if I get it, I get it. You know, I'm gonna go down swinging. As if the audience is tense, the show's gonna suck. If they walk in and they kind of go, oh, wow, that's cool. They have different circles and they got the tables here. Okay, everything's all right, good. I feel relaxed. You want to wear your mask? Wear your mask. You don't want to wear it, whatever. I don't care, you know. But as long as the audience is comfortable, I'm comfortable.
Right on, man. Yeah, and then that just everyone's happy and positivity, and the old adage that to me it always makes perfect sense. But even though it's might be corny, whatever it is, laughter is the best medicine, and it really is. When people are in a good mood, when they're laughing and they're happy, that transcends everywhere else, man. So you gotta keep that energy popping, and that's why comedy is so important. And I still don't think, even after all these years, from the vaudeville till now, people don't understand how important comedy truly is, man.
Yeah, well, they're introducing themselves to this art form that maybe they took for granted for a while. Just like with concerts too. But people they're realizing how much they miss going to see a show, whether it's rock or country or whatever, but music. But like I said, man, the comedy crowds have been great. They also know, let's say here in Jersey, we're at 25% capacity, so they know, okay, when I play Uncle Vinny's this weekend, a sellout's 38 tickets. So they have to want to be there, and they have to want to get the tickets in advance. And so you're getting real comedy fans, as opposed to a bunch of people who are hanging out, having dinner in Point Pleasant, and they go, oh, there's a comedy club over there. Let's just go over there and see what's up. And they don't know who's on the show or whatever. And sometimes those crowds can also be good, but sometimes you get enough people in there who kind of just wandered in, and it's like, it's not their style of humor. It brings the whole show down.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. So now one of the positives is people, you're getting audiences that want to be there and are ready for Don Jameson, for when they come out this weekend.
It's like, well, you probably Googled me to make sure that I wasn't a serial killer. I'm like, I've been dating for 35 years. Most of the fun I'm getting out of tonight is the fact that I might be on a date with a serial killer. She had crazy eyes. I'm like, I'm either going to have the best time of my life or I'm going to be on Forensic Files next week.
Another cool thing that's really metal about you is that your album that came out, I think last year, was it Denim and Laughter, was on Metal Blade Records. Is it just you and are you the only comic? I think maybe Florentine has one too, album out on that label.
Yeah, and Brewer put one album out on Metal Blade.
Oh, did he? Yeah, that's awesome.
I've done all my records on Metal Blade, so see, that was the thing. Like in the late '90s, when computers, comics were starting being able to burn their own CDs on their computers, and they could do their own artwork, and so every comic was putting out an album, and I was just like, I know I have the material, but I want some other connection, like I wasn't looking for this big record deal. I know, I'm not a huge name, but when I met Brian Slagle from Metal Blade and he offered me a deal, I totally thought he was pulling my chain, like we were hanging, having drinks and stuff. And he was like, yeah, do you want to do a record, man? I'd love to do one with you. And I had gone on the road with one of the bands on his label. So he saw me open for a metal band, and I didn't answer him for like a year. And he hired me to do this convention out in Palm Springs, and he comes and picks me up at the airport. He flies me out. He picks me up at the airport. And he's like, you never gave me an answer on that record deal. I'm like, you were serious?
That's awesome.
And then within 5 minutes, before we were even out of the airport, we had a record deal, in place. Yeah. And I've been with those guys ever since, man. It's awesome. That's the connection that I was looking for.
Yeah, that's cool. You're like label mates with Kill Switch Engage and all these metal bands. You're like, hey, that's my label mate. That's awesome.
Yeah, King Diamond. And,
yeah, dude.
Great band.
Are there any street jokes about heavy metal?
Street jokes. Oh boy.
I have one I could tell you that I
All
got.
right, you tell me yours. Yeah.
I Did you hear about the heavy metal band that also makes Christmas music? They're called Slayer.
I do a joke in my act, Don, where I go, I guess my sense of humor from my mother. She knows I go out and open for rock bands, so she heard I was going out on tour, and she said, "Oh yeah, who are you going out with this time?" I said, "I'm going out with Nashville Pussy." And without missing a beat, my mom said, "I didn't even know Billy Ray Cyrus was still performing."
Oh, that's great, man! Props to your mom. Fast thinking.
She's funnier than I am.
She's
She's opening for me at Uncle Vinny's this weekend.
Don, I appreciate you taking the time, man. You truly rock on all the levels. Tell everybody where they can find you on like social media and all that good stuff, and also where you're going to be this weekend.
Yeah, thanks, man. I'll be at Uncle Vinny's February 4th, 5th, and 6th. That's this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram, Don Jamieson, JAMIESON. I do have something up on Facebook that I'm locked out of for some reason, but that's a whole other story. But I'm good about posting all my dates and stuff. And hey, man, I appreciate you reaching out to do this and stuff. And that's one good thing that's come out of this, man. It's like everybody's been reaching out to each other, whether it's to do something like this, whether it's a text to say, "How you doing? How's your mental state," and all that stuff. And appreciate people coming out and laughing their balls off, because it's therapy for me too. It's therapy for us comics,
yes,
as well as it is for the audience. So hope to see people out this weekend. I hope to see you out on the island sometime, man.
Yeah, man, for sure. It'd be great to meet you in person. Like I said, you rock. And if you ever want to come back on the show anytime, always welcome. If you have anything you want to promote or just talk to me, it'll be an honor, man. You rock, my friend. Thanks
so
again.
much, Don.
All right. Don Jamieson, everybody.
Hi, this is Special Ed. Hey, Don and Betty. Yay! You're making a world a better place with your comedy, and everyone needs to check you guys out. Yay! Because Benny is old, and Don has messy hair. Yay! Hey, Benny, you're old. Do your balls hang really low? Yay! Benny's balls hang really low. Is your big boy hair gray now? Because you're old? Yay! Yay! That's great. And Don has messy hair. I got messy hair too, but you can't tell most of the time because I'm wearing a helmet. Yay! Yay! Special Ed wears a helmet. That's great. Well, check out Don and Betty and check their stuff out because they're funny. Yay! I gotta go poop. Bye now, lady.
All right, Benny, that was Don Jamieson. Awesome dude. Great show.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, man. He's a great guy and very funny.
You interview the greatest people, man. You really do.
Dude, it's awesome, man. I'm loving it. We got a lot of great comics that come through the show, and it's just awesome. And talking about my two favorite things, stand-up comedy and heavy metal music. I mean, it doesn't get better than that, man. But like he has his podcast, the Don Jamieson Show on Compound Media, and it seems like everybody has a podcast these days, and it's hard to kind of keep track of them and watch them all.
I have 3,500 Facebook friends, and only 4 of them do not have a podcast. Everybody you are right. Everybody has a freaking podcast.
And here we go.
Everybody's got their live icon in case we ever wanted to watch their show. How convenient. We appreciate the gesture.
You don't watch the whole thing because she knows it's a deep.
You've heard of too many cooks spoiling the broth. How about too many shows but no audience? Cause how can we watch yours while we're live streaming?
It seems like everyone has a podcast.
Every Everyone's got a podcast now. Your brother, sister, uncle, cousin, mother-in-law. There's any topic you could want, alright. From dawn till noon through the dead of night. Everyone's got a podcast now. Come on, check out ours. That is if you're not doing yours. 'Cause everyone's got a podcast now.
Well, hello everybody, it's great to be back. Well, I'm wearing the wonderful You're Awesome t-shirt. Thank you, Don Sill. It fits so nice over my groin top. Well, Don Sill, you haven't done a top 5 in such a long time. Well, I think I'd go ahead and give you my next top 5 right now. Well, here are the top 5 things of words you shouldn't be hearing every day of your life. What's number 5? Dr. Zucker. Well, he's not a real doctor, but you hear his name every day. What's number 4? Dr. Chatsky. Sounds like something I go do when I have to go to the bathroom. What's number 3? AstraZeneca? Sounds like something out of the never-ending story. What's number 2? Moderna. What's number 1? My favorite word because it sounds like Scheiße? Pfizer. But I am liking all these new words that everybody is learning in everyday language. Once tune in next week, I'll give you another top 5 that you'll simply enjoy. Thank you.
Come on, vaccine, don't want COVID-19. It's been 10 months.
I have nothing to offer here.
Just come on, vaccine.
Oh, this? Oh no, I took the COVID vaccine yesterday. The fuck? Why would you take that? Girl, stop. I'm feeling fine. What?
Hey y'all, this is Ken Pichelle. You are watching Put Up, Shut Up, and Stand Up, affectionately known as PUSUSU, here on GOVS Comedy Club Radio, Facebook, YouTube, Boxcast. Wait, Boxcast? We on TV! We on TV, y'all! Another one. Comedy Club Radio, oh, but why just audio? Cause we on TV, we on TV, we on TV. Yeah, we on TV. We on TV.
So, I'm recently separated from my husband. And I was a little surprised about how things are working out, mostly because it's the same as being married. We text each other every day, call each other every day, make time to have dinner as a family a couple of times a week, and he's still fucking his girlfriend.
All right, everybody. Our next guest is a very funny comedian and host of 2 podcasts, Domestic Disturbance with Mike Keegan and Tim Saliani, and also Films on Tap with Tim, Chris, Kevin, and Jim. Both shows are right here on GOVS Radio, so make sure you check those out. And without further ado, you know her, you love her. Here she is, everybody, Carla Okerson. Carla, how's it going? How's everything been?
Good, Don. I'm so happy to see you not recovering from COVID. Me not recovering from COVID.
I know. Now it's me kind of recovering.
Are you? Did you have it? Did I not know that?
I think so. I think I had it. So I here's the story. I tested negative, but I still, and this is another good reason why I'm getting to talk to you, because like you said, the last time I talked to you, you were one of my first guests I had on this new quarantine version of the show. You were like on our second show of quarantine. We had you on, you recovered from COVID. Were you ever tested for coronavirus, or what was the story?
I was tested on Monday. It was a huge wait. So I initially got sick, I want to say about March 17th, March 18th.
And now here we are 10, 11 months later. I'm now recovering from this. And the one thing that I think I had is because I lost my scent and my taste. And I know
Then
you
100%
did.
you had it.
Not being able to smell or taste things is popping up in about 80% of COVID-19 cases.
How long did it take you to get your taste and your smell back?
So with that, I had my taste back. I mean, sort of, you know, arguably I've never had good taste in men, but you know, whatever. I still don't, I would say my sense of smell is about 75% back, maybe 85, because there are times when like, and this happened 3 weeks ago, that I bought fish, I brought it home, took it out, cooked it, was prepared to serve it to my family. And then my sister stopped by to drop something off and she was like, what is that smell? She was like, take out your garbage or something because it smells like a fish market. What the fuck? And I'm like, I just made some salmon. You don't want some? And she was like, oh,
Oh, wow.
You don't smell that? And then, you know, my daughter came out of the shower and she was like, oh, what's happening in this house? And I was like, smells like garlic. And they were like, you don't smell that, you know, horrible smell of dead fish. And I was like, I don't. And she took the whole thing. She's like, throw it out. And there's certain things that I'm not 100% there yet.
Wow. And that's
it's
been
frustrating
since
it's
March.
Frustrating.
Yeah. I'm worried I'm never going to smell bacon again. Like there's certain things like it's weird because I don't know if this happened with you because I'm new to this, losing my smell and taste buds. It's been about a week or so, maybe 2 weeks, but like I'll still taste if something's salty or sweet or sour, I'll still have like those sensations, but I can't taste flavors. And then with smell, I could smell if like the other day, they cooked popcorn and burnt it and I smelled the burn. smell. But I couldn't smell, like I can't smell peanut butter or something. It's weird.
So with taste, the first thing I could taste was spicy. Did I tell you the story last time? Because it's hilarious and a little gross. I don't
think so.
You're gonna enjoy it.
Yeah.
So we're at the height of, you know, coronavirus. Me and Isabella, I should say, are at the height of like feeling like shit. Nobody can taste anything. Nobody's hungry. No one can smell anything. So I guess about 3 weeks in, and my daughter wakes up and late because she was sleeping like 18 hours. I thought she had mono rather than coronavirus. That's what it was like. And she wakes up and she's like, I'm hungry. And I'm like, great. This means we're on the mend, right? You're hungry. I'll get you whatever you want. And she's like a Chipotle fanatic. She's obsessed. She's like, I want Chipotle. I'm like, you want Chipotle? I will get you Chipotle. Let's do this. So I get her. I tell her, just get everything on the side. Just, you know, whatever you want, just put it all on the side. So we end up with like all their hot sauces that we normally don't get. So she takes a bite and she starts like tearing up and she's like, I don't taste anything. This doesn't taste like anything. I was hungry, but now I don't want it, whatever. And I'm like, come on, just try it. You know, maybe put a little lime on it. Try a little hot sauce, you know, whatever. So she put some hot sauce on it. I guess like the medium sauce. And she's like, you know, I got a little tingle. Like I taste a little something. I'm like, okay, good. Like put the hotter sauce on it. So she does it. She's like, I can taste it. I can taste a little something. Like it's tingling, like it's coming back.
Right.
So I'm like, here, let me try it. And I don't eat spicy food at all. Like a buffalo wing is not like, that's as far as I'm going. And I taste it. It's the same thing. So now we're putting the Chipotle hot sauce on it that I would never normally touch. And I'm like, oh, this is fine. So I'm like, let's step it up a notch. I have some like pickled jalapenos in the fridge. Let's see what happens. So I eat it, nothing, just a little tingle warmth. I'm like, I have some like actual Chipotle peppers that, you know, I've used to make chili. Let's try that. Same thing, a little tickle. So here we are, two people that don't eat spicy food ever. And we are just loving this because we're eating jalapenos and Chipotle this. And I had a spoonful of sriracha, like I'm taking over the world. Doesn't matter.
This is awesome.
Yeah. So while we're doing this and we're cracking up, Jay calls. Jay Okerson, you know, my ex-husband. Yeah.
Big Jay Okerson. I'm not from these parts, but it seems like a great place. I'm Jewish, but nobody can really tell unless my pants are off because I have a yarmulke on my cock and two curlicues next to my balls. I call it my Hasidic.
Yeah. And he's like, how are you girls feeling? He's checking on us because, you know, being the girls were, or I should say one of my girls was sick. The other, Juliana, never missed a beat. But he's like, how you guys sound great. You're laughing. And I'm like, yeah, this is fantastic. And he's like, well, what are you guys doing? What's so funny? I'm like, oh, Isabella's eating jalapenos. Ha, 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 ha. And he's like, why? I'm like, because we can. It's great. And he's like, what? Why would you don't do that? And I'm like, no, great. I ate a Chipotle. I had a jalapeno. I had a spoonful of sriracha because it was hilarious. And he's like, are you guys fucking crazy? Don't do that. He's like, it doesn't just burn on the way in. It burns on the way out. And I'm like, what?
Because in some ways, your butt is a lot like your mouth. According to your nervous system, hot peppers actually feel hot, temperature-wise. But TRPV1 receptors are in lots of places, and that includes your anus.
And he's like, just please stop. Just stop. Stop what you're doing. So we stopped because I'm like, oh, your dad's saying like we're gonna have an issue later, like in the whatever. And we were just like, "Fine, whatever. We should be eating this anyway. Like, probably gonna get a stomach ache. So we wrap it up, right? And the next day, I'm in my house. All of a sudden, I hear from the bathroom like, Isabella is just like suffering jalapeno with the jalapenos coming out, and I'm like, oh no, this is terrible. And then fast forward about an hour later, and I am sweating like, oh my God, please, and why does anyone eat hot peppers? What is this? This is horrible. This is the worst. Like, I'm pooping glass. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's a monkey knife fight in my butthole. Oh my God.
Monkey knife fight.
I'm like, why would anyone do this to themselves? This is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. And that's
Thank God he called. Thank God Jay called you, because you guys would have just kept going.
I probably would have ordered some ghost pepper chips and been like, let's record this.
This is great. Look what we can do now.
Look at us eating. Like, you can't eat one. We can eat 10. But it was brutal. I don't know how anyone, like the Scotch bonnet peppers and like the jalapeno eating contest, like
I said, if you want to give up, you can give up.
how do you do the backside, no pun intended? How do you do the backside part of it?
Now, consuming capsaicin regularly can actually make your body desensitized.
And like the host of that show, Hot Ones, like that guy, man, I don't know. His ass must be immune to it by now.
I mean, do you have to like prepare your butthole in some way before? Like, you have to like coat it in something? Like,
yeah, I don't know. Do you ever get past it? Like, if you're an aficionado of hot foods, does your butt eventually get immune to it and get used to it, or build a tolerance? I don't know. I don't eat a lot of hot foods either.
I don't know. I think it's like some weird like S&M thing. Like, they like the pain in
They
their
love
mouth,
it.
and then they like the pain in their butthole. So it's like a 1-2 punch.
In response to the pain, your brain releases endorphins and dopamine. Combined, these chemicals create euphoria, similar to a runner's high.
Yeah, there you go. It's the gift that keeps on giving,
Yeah.
at least for a couple of days.
And I really don't. Never again.
So you never had.
I'll be mild for the rest of my life. Thank you. I didn't call you a male chauvinist. I said that's some real
Basic
fragile
thing.
masculinity bullshit that you just fucking lose your shit.
Such a fragile, masculine bullshit. I'm gonna drink my tea.
I mean, you could keep having a temper tantrum. That really speaks more to your behavior than mine.
I mean, temper tantrum at all.
You are having a temper tantrum.
By the way, this is the greatest episode we've ever had.
Probably.
So that's another thing too that I love about you is your relationship with Mike Keegan, who is like a real conservative, real Republican guy, and you're on the left. You're a real kind of liberal, not a libertarian. How do you guys? Because we've all seen domestic disturbance and how you guys could sometimes get heated on that show, and I kind of enjoy it. I don't know. There's a part of me that likes watching you guys go at it.
He could just have his little temper tantrum. He can stomp his.
He can have his little temper
tiny
tantrum.
little stomp his feet and whatever. We're not going to get shit done. Let's go back to talking about Kim and Kanye.
How does that relationship? How do you guys make it work? Because, and I think that's good because it does show this unity when we have two people on opposite sides in a loving relationship.
Well, number one, we never discuss politics at home. Like, we can't. It's just, it cannot happen. It's never a thing where it's like, well, we're talking about this, and we're like, you know what? Let's just agree to disagree. No, it will always end up in a screaming match. So we just have to like table it. We just don't. We literally just don't.
That's good.
You know, the old school rules, you know, you don't at the table, you don't discuss religion or politics or money. You know,
Yeah. So you save it for the show.
yeah, we save it for the show. We do. I guess he feels a little bit more strongly about, I should kind of keep to myself on his posts. But then I'm like, if you don't want me to respond to what you're saying, and I've unfriended him on social media several times. So I'm like, if you don't want me to say something, then I'll unfriend you. Because if you're here and you're saying this and it goes against, something that I believe, like, then I'm going to come at you. And he's not the only person I've done it to. I've certainly come at other people, hard but not disrespectfully. And then I think conservatives tend to say that liberal people do this a lot, but I found that when I come at certain people, conservatively, they're very quick to throw out the C word, and I'm not talking about Carla.
Cunt is a dirty, profane word in our society that is used to degrade women.
So
wow. Yeah, there's so many hot buttons and hot topics, and I think social media is definitely the cause of a lot of division. I think social media is good and bad, but I think I think it is a part of our division, because it definitely could help allegiances or and help divisions. So like, if I post up something that's making fun of Biden, it's going to get you angry as my Facebook friend, and you're going to go, what? And then you're going to retaliate, and then other people that might feel upset about it are going to retaliate. Then the people that are with me, and then all of a sudden you got a little civil war.
War.
Yeah.
What I think is interesting is about social media is, and I've been guilty of this, a million times, right? So, and there's the anonymity of it. Because if we were in studio at Governor's, right, and I was walking past the hallway and you were with 3 of your friends talking about, how, Trump this and Biden sucks and the election was stolen and blah, 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 and whatever, I would not burst into your group conversation and be like, listen, you MFers, you idiots,
right?
What the fuck you're talking about? You're a bunch of conservative dolts, and you hate the poor, and you hate immigrants, and you hate black people. How about that? Because you know, be like, oh my God, she's a fucking lunatic. Who does that? And if somebody turned around and was like, shut up, you C word, they'd get punched in the face.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Right? They'd be like, all right, she might be a lunatic, but you can't just call Carla a C word in the middle of, are you crazy?
Right.
And on Facebook, this is an everyday normal occurrence, which I do feel like and like I said, I'm so guilty of this myself. So I understand if everyone's like, yeah, Carla, really, but I agree. I think that we all need to take a step back from the anonymity of social media, because it feels anonymous, but it's not. It really isn't. And
it feels, yeah. And it feels like there's no consequences, but there are.
But there are consequences, and it's not real anonymity. It's really not, because, at the end of the day, you can run into somebody and then, be like, oh, wait, you're Don still? Oh, all right. Okay. Right. Remember what you said to me 3 months ago? Because I do.
Exactly. Yeah, that stuff doesn't go away, and those hard feelings fester. And and there's people that you like used to be friends that you don't want to hear from, so you either block them or there's a way to mute people without unfriending them, or you just completely unfriend them. And it's just weird, the division and stuff.
Now that we live in the age where social media plays a big part in everyday life, we can't help but judge somebody else by the social media account. Which is why you wonder if there is anything wrong when someone unfriends you on Facebook. It's commonly called social estrangement.
But like with social media, with like Twitter kind of banning, Trump and other politicians and silencing voices, do you think, I know it's right now it's a thing where a lot of the it's kind of tilted where they're silencing conservative voices.
Twitter permanently banning the commander-in-chief's personal account with 88 million followers after an initial 12-hour lockout following Wednesday's riots at the U.S. Capitol.
So I have an issue with the people who complain that they were silenced on Twitter, and because especially at the time that it happened, at the time that it happened, there were a lot of people who were like, oh, it's freedom of speech. I'm speaking about Trump specifically, who at the time was president. President Trump at the time gets pulled off of Twitter, right? And they're like, well, they're silencing him. They are, infringing on his right to free speech.
These are tense and difficult times. The efforts to censor, cancel, and blacklist our fellow citizens are wrong, and they are dangerous.
He's the president, and he has a press room at his disposal. So he can call a press conference at a moment's notice. Everyone's going to be there because he was the president, and the world was on fire. So he could have a press conference at a moment's notice, and and everyone will be listening. All eyes will be on him. So I don't know that you can really put that kind of, you can put that kind of responsibility on a private company, right? So the easiest way I can, I guess make that kind of tie together is, sure, you can say whatever you want, right? And because we are in the United States and you have the right to free speech. However, that doesn't mean you can say it in my living room. Right. So you can say it outside, but once you come into my house, you got to follow my rules. And if I don't like what you're saying in my living room, I'm going to put you out. Right. And I feel like that's what Twitter did. This is their living room. So you can talk about all you want. The minute that they feel like you're doing something that, realistically could harm them. If somebody comes back and says, well, he was tweeting all of this stuff, so we did this and we did that, and then we stormed the Capitol and we got injured, we can sue Twitter.
What is needed now is for us to listen to one another, not to silence one another.
Do you think that Trump could now should be allowed back on social media now that he's back to being a private citizen or former president?
I think that a lot of I think a permanent ban is a permanent ban, and again, but he can go on to, I don't know, is he banned from Instagram? Is he banned from Facebook?
I think they all
banned him.
I think every single one of them. Yeah, he's got no voice right now.
I should send him a Clubhouse invite. Can he come on to Clubhouse?
Clubhouse is the latest social media app to hit the market, and if you're rushing to the App Store right this second to download it because you feel a case of FOMO coming on, I've got some bad news for you because the app is currently invite only.
Send me your phone number, Trump. I'll send you a Clubhouse invite. You can go on there. But you know what, you might be right, because I read he was banned from Pinterest, and I was like, what the fuck could he possibly have been pinning? Like,
I want everyone to know about my new hobby
recipe. Now Stewart is calling it impeach cobbler. I don't find that funny, but here it is.
Impeach cobbler.
And now it's time for the Donald J. Trump cookbook by me, Donald J. Trump. That's right. You all, of course, obviously know me as the greatest president of all time, but little do you know I'm also the greatest chef.
Oh, well.
As a private citizen, should he be allowed to come back on? Maybe, but again, if you go back to, what I was saying, like, if you are acting up in my house, do I get to let you back in? Maybe, when I feel like you've calmed down, maybe in a year, if the powers that be at the individual social media sites feel that, the temperature has cooled in the country. But I think that what happened on, was it the 6th or 5th of January? 6th?
Yeah, I think it was the 6th. Yeah, January 6th.
I think that really scared a lot I think that
Pelosi was scared. She still seems like shaking up.
AOC, like, these people like
she's twitching now. AOC.
Which, I get that. I get that because, I'm certainly nowhere near their level of exposure, and I've gotten death threats from going at it with Mike and, defending Black Lives Matter. And, somebody was like, if I see you on my lawn, I'll shoot you in the face. I'm like,
wow. Yeah.
I'm like, well, I'm going to screenshot this, because if you shoot me in the face,
yeah, I want to have evidence.
I want everyone to know it was you.
Yeah.
And people saying like, well, if you blah, 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 something, I hope your kids, whatever, get raped. Somebody said, I hope your kids get raped if you're something Black Lives Matter. And I'm like,
wow, yeah.
My children get raped because I have an opinion. You don't even know me. You don't know my kids. So now, not that I find that scary, although people have, told me like, you should, post pictures of like your gun permit and like let people know not to fuck with you.
Now, I also, because I think you would be a great press secretary, definitely better than Jen Psaki.
Angry a lot.
She's always circling back.
I'll circle back if there's more I can share with you. I'll circle back with you if there's more to convey. I'll have to just circle back with you. We can circle back with. I'm happy to circle back with you. I can circle back. I will have to circle back on that one. That's an excellent question. Oh, such an important question. We will circle back with you, and we'll circle back with you. It's an interesting question, but we'll circle back. I'm happy to circle back, but I'll have to circle back with you on it. It's a good question, but we'll circle back with you on this today. We will certainly circle back with you more directly.
I wouldn't really want to ask her a question because I feel like every time somebody asks her a question, she's like,
Would that be something you would be interested in doing?
yeah, but I think I curse too much.
That would be great. You give it to us straight.
Don Sill, great fucking question. Let me tell you.
That would be awesome. I think you should push for that. I think you'd be great. Here's our press secretary, Carla Okerson, ladies and gentlemen. And then you get up there, and then you'd be like, "No, I'm not answering your question. Yes, you go." And then you could just be like, "What the fuck do you want?"
What do you want? What do you want? You asked me a dumb question yesterday. What do you ask me today? Let's go.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on. Choppy, get it out. You think I don't have other places to be? Come on. Great question. Great fucking question today. Yes.
That would be awesome.
We have prioritized.
I do want to thank you for coming on here. This was great. And also, I did want to ask you, Valentine's Day is coming up. What are your plans? Do you have any? Is there anything to do now with the pandemic?
I'm the wrong person to ask. I hate Valentine's Day so much. I hate it. It's like if Valentine's Day is the highlight of your relationship, then your relationship is on the rocks. Okay? Because every heart-fit box of chocolates is disgusting, right? So if you're going to CVS to buy your significant other a stale-ass box of heart chocolates, you don't care about them. You don't care. You're just like checking the boxes. Like, I gotta get her some chocolates, or him or her. I gotta get him a card, and I'm gonna get him some sad-ass roses that are gonna die by tomorrow because florists have been hoarding flowers for a month. Oh my God, the restaurants are gonna be beyond packed. The food is gonna be shitty because they're just trying to get it out. Don't cook something for your significant other that you know that they like. Do that. Get them flowers this week. The flowers will be fresh and they will last until Valentine's Day. If they like chocolate, go and get them some good chocolate. Go to Godiva and pick them out something, 4 or 5 delicious truffles that you know they'll enjoy. Don't give them some bullshit 30-pack of CVS chocolates that only 2 of them are edible. And I have nut allergy. I'm allergic to almonds. So every time I get one of those boxes, I'm like, this is so phoned in. This is phoned in because you're giving me something. I can't have any of them. Like, number one, I can't have any of them because I don't know if they have almonds. And number two, I'm perpetually dieting. You just gave me a 40-pack of CVS heart chocolate. It's like, pay attention to what your partner likes and doesn't like. I posted something on social media the other day about don't give CVS chocolates. And then someone said that they got like a car part or something for Valentine's Day. Like, now that particular woman did not want that. But if your significant other needs new windshield wiper blades and you do that, that's awesome. That's a great I know that you need this. I know you haven't had time to have it done, and I care about you, and I want you to be able to look out of your windshield and not die when it's raining. So I got this done for you. I got you a $20 box of Russell Stover trash chocolates that nobody likes. They're full of shit that no one eats. It's what is it, like Soylent Green on the inside? Soylent Green. What is this shit? You just break it open, it's just gooey pink shit or gooey white shit. Like, no one's eating this shit. If your partner's dieting, go to Tropical Smoothie and get them a smoothie with kale in it that doesn't taste like shit because now there's kale in it. Like, here you go, it's a smoothie, it's delicious, it's low calorie, it's full of nutrients because I love you. Okay, if you really want to put some money into it, get your partner a house cleaning service for the day. How much better? Like, it doesn't get better than that. You come home, your house is pristine. Oh my God, what happened? Happy Valentine's Day. You don't have to scrub the toilet this month. Fuck the flowers. Oh, by the time you buy $100 worth of roses on Valentine's Day and
$25 worth of shit chocolate and a garbage card. You know, just buy a cheap card, get the fucking house cleaned, get the wipers done, get your friends, get your partner's oil changed, get their car washed, you know, whatever, and then make something, grab a steak, so easy. Throw a steak on the cast iron pan, some tomato and some mozzarella, throw a salad together, boom, that's it. Your girlfriend or boyfriend will love you forever. Clean house, steak, mozzarella and tomato. Who doesn't want that? And then you didn't have to go and do the florist shit. You don't have to wait on a line of like, you know, 800 dudes that don't give a shit at CVS. And while you're doing all that, grab the Zoom of governors and watch Andrew Dice Clay. I'm Carla Okerson, your love guru. I'm taking care of Valentine's Day for everyone that's listening. Do that. Just do that. You got the steak, the mozzarella, tomato, the clean house. Don't worry about CVS. Don't worry about the rest of that shit. Throw on Andrew Dice Clay. Throw on Andrew Dice Clay and you're good to go. You are good to go.
There you go, folks. Carla's Valentine's Day advice. I'm so glad. That was awesome. And I think I'm going to take a lot of that advice.
And I think if you really, really, truly need chocolates, if you need them, if you need to have them involved in some way, just grab a bag of Hershey's Kisses. You can't go wrong with those. Plain chocolate, plain milk chocolate, Hershey's Kisses. Everybody loves them. They're red and silver and they're, you know, you can put them around. Maybe you put a little, you know, trail of kisses to the bed and, you know, go have some sexy time.
There you go. Nice. You know? Carla Okerson, everybody. She knows.
These things.
You're the best, Carla. I appreciate it. I had a great time talking to you. This was awesome.
Thanks, Don. I had a fun time too. I really appreciate you reaching out to me and including me.
Yeah, you're awesome. And I definitely love you. I love everything you do. And I want everybody to check you out on the domestic disturbance. That comes on what, Tuesdays? Tuesday nights, and then again with Films on Tap on Friday nights.
Yeah. So what I was trying to do with that is like I was, you know, coming off so hard on domestic disturbance that I needed to put forth a kinder, gentler Carla on Films on Tap. So, you know,
so you get a good balance.
It's not all internalized misogyny, although I do drop a couple of internalized misogynies on Films on Tap.
Yes. But you're the best. I appreciate it. Thanks again, Carla. And love the background, by the way. So happy that
you were able to help me.
Yeah, so we got that going. So there you are, folks. Thank you, Carla. You're the best.
Thanks, Don. Thanks so much for having me on. Thanks, everybody. Don't forget, shout out to PUSUSU.
Yes, thank you.
What's that I see on the TV? Put Up, Shut Up, and Stand Up is on the TV. Make sure you tune in and subscribe. Don and Benny, they're awesome.
All right, Benny, that's the show for today. What a good one. I again want to thank the great Carla Okerson. She rocks.
Carla.
She's the best. And also want to thank Don Jameson for coming in, and thank to everybody.
Awesome, dude. Yeah. Thank everybody. Thank you, Dr. Fedora. Maybe one day I'll understand what the hell you're fucking talking about. Professor Fedora, whatever.
But
whatever
again,
he is. How did that guy become a professor? I want to see that diploma.
I want to see his diploma too. We need to see his paperwork and make sure he's a legit professor.
Yeah.
But anyway, I do want to remind everyone to please subscribe to our YouTube page at youtube.com/putupshutupstandup. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, and then you'll see all of our videos as they come. We post pretty much every week. Also, remember to go to teespring.com and get your gear, your GOVS radio gear. You click on teespring.com, Google or whatever, type in GOVS radio, and they'll take you to all the swag, and all the shows have their own swag, including us. Put Up, Shut Up, and Stand Up. You get mugs, you get t-shirts, you get all kinds of fun stuff. But it's all good in the hood. Again, everybody be safe out there with the snow. It's supposed to snow again this weekend. So just, stay warm, stay safe, stay indoors if you can. And yeah, man. And as always, Benny, you're awesome.
You're awesome, buddy.
No. You're awesome, man.
You're more awesome than you're more awesome than a groundhog who sees his shadow and says, screw the winter. You're more awesome than that.
Wow. Very cool. That's pretty awesome indeed.
Yeah, it's super awesome.
Well, thanks again, everybody.
That's awesomeicious. Awesomelicious.
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 Yeah, take care, everybody. Peace,
Take
y'all.
care, everyone. Enjoy. Thanks for watching.